So take my strong advice. Just remember to always think twice. Do think twice. She told my baby dance to 3, then she looked at me, then showed a photo. My baby cried, his eyes were like mine. Though we danced on the floor in the rise. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. But your girl is still right by me. Just smell the sweet perfume. This happened much too soon. She called me to her room.
DJ Rachelle is next to the band who is playing today, and she will introduce them now.
She's just a girl.
Hi, this is DJ Rachelle, and you're listening to KPSU, Portland's college radio station. We've been streaming worldwide 24/7 at www.kpsu.org. This show is also broadcasted on live video stream on YouTube, courtesy of Portland State Television. We also have wonderful audio by Portland State Professional Sound. Thank you, Andy, you're the man. And today in the studio, ready to perform for us live, is Glasys. Take it away.
Should I just keep going to another one? Just a little swig of water. This next one is called The Future. Free of pain is all I think about. It's part of who I am, but I'm still wishful. Am I naive? Living free of pain seems unobtainable. It's part of who I am, but I'm still hopeful. Am I naive? So cut me loose, you fail.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I love watching your fingers fly there. That's
Thank
great.
you so much. So happy to be here again.
Me too. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so tell me about the first song you played.
First one was called Your Lies. It's not on my EP or anything, but it's a song I usually play in my sets. It's more of a synth poppy kind of tune. It's like one of my simpler songs, I'd say. It's a good one to start with and warm up.
All the belting out.
Yeah, I guess. And also, like, it's not as technically difficult on the keys, so, like, gives me a chance to warm up a bit.
Talk to me about the lyrics behind it. Was there a bad breakup or what happened?
Oh, well, many years ago, a good friend of mine and I had a kind of falling out, and the song is sort of about that. I don't want to go too much into detail. I don't
No,
wanna
that's
offend
okay.
anyone.
So, do you think your music is mainly that sort of outlet where it's just when there's frustrations or upset?
Yeah, definitely. You won't hear a lot of happy lyrics in my songs. I think some people channel different, different musicians channel different emotions in their music. Some people, it's all about like, embracing like the most positive and happiest feelings and like play, funky dance music and forget about all your troubles. For me, it's like the opposite. I feel inspired to write about my issues.
So that's your equivalent of venting.
Of what? Sorry.
Venting?
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully a more pleasant way of hearing me vent. Hopefully.
There you go. Your key work is beautiful and amazing to watch, but you also have a great voice to listen to.
Thank
What
you.
sort of vocal training or
I did maybe
background?
like between 5 to 10 vocal lessons in my life. I haven't really, done it a lot, but maybe I will at some point. You never know. Like, I think it's always important to keep training. But I tried. I started singing pretty late, like in my early 20s. A lot of people like grow up singing and they have like this natural singing voice. For me, that wasn't the case. And it was really difficult and kind of awkward and embarrassing at first, because like I felt like my voice just wasn't right for it. But at some point, I just said, you know what? This is my music. I want to sing my songs, and I'm just gonna go for it, and I'll improve as I go along. And hopefully, I'm still improving.
There you go. So what song would you like to play next?
So I'm gonna play a song called "Global Warning."
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, thank you. It's time to address our situation. It's time to fulfill our obligations. We're armed to the teeth with information. So I can't look past our own possessions. It's time to address our situation. It's time to fulfill our obligations. We're armed to the teeth with information, so I can we look past our own possessions. It's time to address our situation. It's time to fulfill our obligations. We're armed to the teeth with information, so I can we look past our own position. Come on! This next one is called Melody. Just a quick swig of water.
consuming us, and the very air we breathe have had enough. And jealousy, you've been wasting all the time we never had. We won't give up. Yes, we're gonna find a way to gain control.
didn't even know what to say to that. That was so much fun to watch.
Thank you.
And listen to, of course.
Thank you.
You've had quite a few things going on since last time you were in here.
Yeah, for sure. So I've played quite a few shows, some very interesting ones, like Mogo Festival, for instance, back
That
in
was
March, which was a real pleasure. I played with Coco Columbia and Corgi and Bass at the Secret Society. That was really fun. And then just a few weeks ago, I got to play at Sold Out Festival.
Which apparently did sell out, and then there was some issues there.
Did it sell out or did not?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it
did.
did.
Yeah.
I know I'm not sure if the show I played was sold out. I played at the Star Theater with Coco Columbia again.
Great.
Which is always great to play with her.
Yeah,
'Cause
she's
I feel
fantastic.
like we're a good match, so it works out that we do a lot of shows together. And we opened for this band called Ghost Note, who are like all these ridiculous virtuoso musicians, which was, it was pretty incredible. And then what else? Okay, so just a couple of weeks ago, I got to open for a musician who I really admire, Jacob Collier, who is he's a kid, basically he's only 22 now, and he's like a genius. He's like, that word gets thrown around a lot, but like he's a real genius. He plays every instrument, he sings, and so I was really stoked to open for him at the Alberta Rose Theater. That was fun.
What was he like?
He's
Just to
super
talk with.
sweet, such a nice guy. He really listens when you're talking to him, and he's so intelligent too. Like you don't feel like you're talking to a 22-year-old. You feel like you're talking to, I don't know, like someone older than me actually. Like he's more intelligent than me for sure.
Little intimidating.
No, actually, he's not intimidating because he's just so down to earth and friendly, and he's really one of the friendliest people I've met. Yeah.
That's great. It's nice when you can open for someone or just play a same show with someone who's actually nice to talk to.
Yeah, for sure. And after the show, we got to hang out a little more. A lot of people, it's funny, like, if you're familiar with his stuff, like, he's a crazy, like his theory, his music theory, and his abilities are crazy, his arranging abilities. So musicians are constantly, like, asking him questions. And, like, after the show, there's a big line of just musicians, like, geeking out on, like, negative harmony and blah, blah, blah. And he's so patient. He was just answering everyone. And, like, people are making little videos, putting them on YouTube. These little lessons with Jacob Collier.
That's what the show should have been called.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me what it's like to work with Coco.
Oh, it's great. I mean, I think she's fantastic. Her whole band is really fantastic. The first time we played together was at my EP release back in September last year. And we didn't really know each other back then, but I kind of contacted her and I asked her if she wants to be part of it. And she said yes, and it went really well. So I think that after that, like, a few venues have put us on a bill together, or like festival, bookers put us on a bill together just because it works so well. Even though her music style is quite different from mine, but I think it just works for some reason.
Do you think you have some fan crossover then?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think the music, both my music and hers, appeals to a lot of musicians. So yeah, for sure.
I imagine having someone in an audience who's just a fan of music versus a musician, it's a little different.
Yeah, I'd say that most of my fans are musicians, especially like when it comes to my online following. And I understand why, because like it's technical and musicians kind of admire that. And I would love to have more non-musician fans. I have some, but I would love to have more. Yeah, hopefully that'll come at some point.
Which, speaking of the technical, let's geek out for a second on all this gear you have.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I love your your
My
eyes
favorite
just
part.
lit up.
Let me wipe the drool.
All right, let's start from over here. What do we have here?
All right, so this is the Prophet 6, made by Dave Smith Instruments. So I was really lucky recently to get endorsed by a few fantastic gear companies. One of them is Nord, and another one is Dave Smith. And 64 Audio. I'm using their in-ear monitors. But yeah, this is an instrument that I bought pretty recently and just started incorporating it in my set. I love it. It's just got this really like unique and lush sound.
And it's not just a standard keyboard. You got a cool thing going on up here.
Yeah, it's a very programmable keyboard. So it's an analog synthesizer, and you can basically tweak all the parameters and change your sound, sculpt it the way you want, just with all the knobs, so you don't have to like, look at a screen and menu dive, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's really like tactile, and it's great.
Okay, so let's do a little comparison here with the Nord.
So the Nord is more of a kind of jack of all spades. Like it's a digital keyboard for one, and this one's analog. So this has all the like sampled sounds, like pianos and organs and strings and whatnot. It also has a built-in synth, which I use quite a lot. And on this keyboard, I can have like 6 sounds going on simultaneously and split the keyboard into different zones. So this is like the key part of my setup, I'd say.
Pun intended.
Everything else is just an addition. For a long time, I was just gigging with this keyboard.
Got it. Okay. And above it, with all your same sort of thing where it's all programmable.
Yeah, I love keyboards that have all these knobs. I don't know. I just love twisting knobs, I guess. But yeah, I like, just being able to grab a knob, twist it, and change my sound that way, rather than stare at a screen and press, or a mouse and a screen, and like that doesn't do it for me.
And above, you've got what I'm used to seeing guitarists have with all the pedals and whatever, the way that's
so
set
I
up.
do the opposite. I put it above. Yeah, so this is basically my drum machine, which has also made my Nord. It's a drum machine and a sequencer that basically, on the sequencer I program all my loops, and then that triggers the different sounds for the drum machine. It works pretty well, I like having a real drummer play with me sometimes too, but when I play solo, it definitely does the job. And then I have just a few pedals that I run it through. I have a vocal pedal right here.
Okay, talk to me about a vocal pedal. That's a new term
it's
for
just
me.
a delay pedal. So this is when it's off right now, and I'll turn it on, and it'll sound like I'm in a cave. So yeah, I like sounding like I'm in a cave.
It's like reverb to the next level.
Yeah, it's like a combination of reverb and delay. Echo, yeah.
That's very cool. And what's the gear pedal on the right here?
Oh, that one is just a reverb pedal for my drum machine, so it just adds a little ambience to the drum sounds. That's it, basically. It's a pretty simple setup. I'm constantly expanding it. Like, I didn't have this last time I was here, and I didn't have my in-ear set up, so yeah.
Okay, your in-ear. Look, tell me about them. They've also got your name on them, which is very cool.
So I was lucky to get endorsed by 64 Audio, who make these in-ear monitors too, and I met them basically when I was at NAMM. They have the option of making your own molded in-ear monitors. So they made my molds over there, and then I could customize the look. So I added my logo on them. But basically, I was just tired of playing and not hearing myself well, or completely depending on the venue and the acoustics of the venue and the sound guy. So I just figured I might as well pull the trigger on these and always hear myself perfectly. And it's just such a difference, especially for vocals. Like, I can actually hear my pitch. I guess.
So I imagine from venue to venue, then you've got more consistent sound.
Yeah, it's like it'll always sound the same. And this little system I'm running it through has a room microphone as well, so I can always pick up on the sound of the crowd. Or right now I'm talking to you. If I were to turn off the room mic, I would not hear anything, because these are really isolating.
Wow.
They're like earplugs too. So yeah, so I can basically hear as much as I want of anything else in the room. Yeah.
Or as little as you want.
Or as little, yeah, which is great if you're playing like a noisy venue. Just turn it off. You're in your own world.
Do you think in any way does that reduce the amount you hear of a crowd?
Well, it can if you turn it off. But when I'm playing for a crowd that I like, that I actually want to hear, then I'll turn it up, and then I can hear very well everything that people are like clapping or booing me or whatever.
So it doesn't affect your interaction with the audience?
No, it took a little getting used to, but I think it was like a very good move for me. Like, there's no going back from here. Let's put it that.
You're committed now.
Yeah, it's just so much easier to hear yourself. Yeah, I recommend it to any musician who's, especially vocalists. If I were just playing, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But
Understandable. Okay. Well, what would you like to play next?
so I think I'll play a brand new one. So a week ago, I put this new video online. That was just like 10 short ideas, just instrumental ideas, no vocals, and it sort of like went viral. Like it has like 100,000 views, and I was really stoked to see so many people share it. And a lot of people, I asked when I posted that, I asked like, what ideas do you think? Which of these ideas do you think I should develop? And everyone was like, number two, which is called Nebula. So I was like, hey, let's turn it into something. So it's still instrumental. I might add vocals someday in the future, but for now I'm keeping it instrumental. And it's, I kind of developed it into a full piece.
Okay, great. Let's hear it. That totally sounds like something that's like an intro to a sci-fi show, like like the intro to the next Star Trek or something.
Yeah, if any producers are listening and want that, then
There we go.
let's write up a contract right now.
Which is probably why you named it Nebula, I'm assuming. Has kind of that
It's
sci-fi
kind of
sound.
spacey, I guess. Yeah. Sure.
Totally. I just wanted to make that comment, not interrupt your set too much. What would you like to play next?
So I'll play the title track of my EP. It's called The Pressure.
Bit of a contrast in sound.
Excuse me?
A little bit of a contrast in
Yeah.
sounds.
A little different, although hopefully still
Still
it
in the
goes
same.
together.
Yeah, still in the same genre. I like seeing the hand switching back and forth too. That's fun.
Oh, yeah. I kind of like to make things difficult for myself, so I don't have like any pre-recorded stuff. I just do everything on the fly, so it requires a lot of juggling, for sure.
All right, let's hear it.
We're still here. We're still here. But the pressure is weighing us down. The pressure is weighing us down. Weighing us down. Weighing us down. Weighing us down.
Sure. So, what shall I play? Okay, I'll play No Chronic Pain, No Gain, which is also on my E EP.
love watching you play.
Thank you.
It's fun. It's an interesting contrast between listening, where you hear just the emotions and everything rising and falling and going together, and then to see you, it's like all I can look at is your fingers.
Yeah, thanks. I'm trying to figure out a way to like have a camera on my fingers live too, because like.
Well, you got that one back there.
Yeah, no, but I mean like in my live shows.
Oh,
and, like,
yes.
venues, yeah. So that'll probably be the next step, because a lot of people tell me like, we want to see what you're doing while I play. So.
True. When you've got a crowd of people at a show and they're all in front of the stage, it's like they can't all see your fingers.
Yeah, exactly. So figure out a way for that to happen.
Which, speaking of shows, you have a few coming up next month?
Yeah, so I've got a small show and a big show. The small one is at Turn on June 8th with Small Million and Shears. That's more of an intimate kind of vibe. And then on the June 23rd, I was asked to open for 2 CD releases. And one of the bands are good friends of mine. Their names are, the name of the band is Falcon Heart. So I'm really happy to play there. And also I haven't played at the Doug Fir yet, so I'm excited to play there.
Yeah, here,
at
I'll
least I haven't
turn for the
played my own
camera.
stuff there.
Here's the Doug Fir.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Sponsorship time.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm really happy that they asked me to join the bill there, and I'll play probably like a half hour to 40-minute set. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
You've been to shows at the Doug Fir, though.
I haven't. I have played there one time already with a Secret C.
Right.
So yeah, I play. I mean, you know this, but I play keys with quite a few people as well. So I get to perform quite a lot in addition to my own project.
Yeah, which is great that you get that collaboration, which I think personally is unique to Portland. You don't see as many musicians collaborating,
Exactly.
particularly inter-genre.
Yeah, and the city really like welcomes like collaborations and really encourages you to, because yeah, it doesn't feel that way everywhere. Like, it didn't feel that way back home for sure, back in Israel. So I think that's one of the reasons that I'm playing so much, is just I want to, like I'm not doing it for the money, although that's nice, but
Which,
yeah, it's just
speaking
great
of,
to collaborate with so many talented people.
yeah, speaking of the money, how do you balance your work with your musical work? That whole life-work
So
balance.
thankfully, I'm right now I'm a full-time musician, and I only play. I used to teach. I kind of stopped doing that. I wanted to focus on playing music. So thankfully, I can do that. And it's I really have to thank my wife for that too, because she's a nurse at OHSU, and she really supports me and my dreams and goals. So let's put it this way: if I were on my own, I would have had to probably do other things as well, like teach and maybe even like do a non-music related job. Oh no.
Can't have that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's great to be able to focus on creating and collaborating with people, and hopefully this grows into something that's sustainable, financially sustainable as well in the future. That's my goal, but it's hard to tell.
Have you been on any tours since leaving Israel?
I had one tour last year, shortly after I moved here, maybe like half a year later. I toured with the Secret C. We went together as like a 2-act kind of feature. We did like just a West Coast tour, went down all the way to LA and back. It was fun. Yeah, I really want to tour more, although I feel like the work I'm doing on social media is just much more beneficial right now. Like, rather than drive, for many hours just to play for like 20 people here, 30 people here, like I'd rather create stuff that thousands of people will see, and like, I don't know. I think like balancing both is probably great, because I love touring and I love playing.
Yeah, it's interesting, that change that we've seen in the music scene over just the last 20, 30 years or whatever, where it used to be you had to get a gig, you had to tour, you needed to get, sponsorships as well as, some studio time, and that's completely different now.
Things are changing. I think touring is still a good thing for band, and I think it's important. But yeah, there are so many, take Jacob Collier, for example. Like, he blew up on YouTube. He didn't play any shows, or at least not many, for small crowds, because, when he started touring, he already had this huge fan base.
Which has to be surreal to go from, not having a crowd of more than 20 to suddenly you've got this huge
It
peak.
is. I'm sure it is. And yeah, and even like this last video I posted that kind of went viral, it's just kind of overwhelming in a good way, like just flooded with like messages and people reaching out and it's awesome. Yeah. It's kind of surreal. It's almost unbelievable. You stare at the screen, you see the numbers go up and it doesn't really feel like real people, but it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hard to make that a tangible thing.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess it remains to be seen if like these people will actually come out to hear me when I perform. So we'll see.
Since your wife works at OHSU, did she come from Israel or did she live here? How did you meet?
No, we met in Israel many years ago. We've been together for 9 years now. So, so we moved together. We kind of planned that for a long time. We saved up. She finished, she got her degree and stuff. So, yeah, this was definitely something we planned for a long time. We moved here together, I think, like a year and a half ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how does she handle the touring?
Well, I haven't toured that much, and it was only for like a couple of weeks or like even a week and a half. So far so good, like she supports me. She knows that this is my dream, so I think it'll be all right. Hopefully.
Yeah, that's one of those awkward things that's always hard for a musician to balance with the personal relationship and how to, pursue that and not neglect the important people in your life.
For sure, yeah. So thankfully, she's really supportive. I don't think it would have worked otherwise, like this is my dream and I'm going to keep at it until I get there or until I give up, I guess.
Any advice for musicians who maybe have a new relationship they're trying to maintain while maintaining their musical life?
That's a tough one. Well, it's important to basically respect each other and respect each other's goals and dreams and support each other. I think that's the most important thing because you have to like not be too selfish because it would have been easy for my wife, for instance, to say like, no, why should I work more than you? Why should I or why are you going on tour and leaving for like a couple of weeks? But she's not like that and she is supportive. So I think that's probably the most important lesson, yeah.
Is there anything as a musician you do to help support her?
No, well, yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, like before we moved here, I was working really hard, teaching like 10 students a day sometimes to save up enough so we could move here. So, yeah, I feel like it changes. Like it's sort of flipped around a bit now. Which is a good thing for me.
So it's just a balancing act.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure it'll change again. Like
Just go with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got about 5 minutes left. Do you want to play a song or do you want to plug a few more things?
Let me see. What haven't I played yet? I think I played most of the songs I wanted to play today.
Okay, I will just dig deeper here then.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I'm always happy to talk.
Okay, so if you had your dream keyboard setup, forget about sponsorships, all of that, you could just get whatever you wanted, what would you get?
Oh, wow. Well, it would depend on whether I have a roadie or not.
If you have a roadie and an unlimited budget.
If I had a roadie, it's interesting. I'd probably add like another 1 or 2, but not more than that actually, because a lot of what I'm doing is like I'm layering sounds, and it's impossible to do that with many keyboards. Like if I want to play 3 sounds at the same time, like I can't do that if I'm playing like every hand's on a different keyboard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I can control other synths with this keyboard with a Nord. So I'd probably add like another few little things. And I definitely want to put a band together, and that's something that's going to happen in the future. I've already got the musicians who also played on my EP who are very willing and they want to do it. I just have to find the right reason, to start preparing for that and rehearsing. But it's going to happen at some point.
Will you keep the same name?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's still Glasys. It's just going to be the band version, or even a small band, probably just drums and guitar. The Secret C will be on guitar.
That's great.
And I already
Shout out to Mean.
did that a few times at shows where like I collaborated with other musicians and we played my songs with like a band lineup, and it went really well. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned the multiple keyboards, and in my head I'm visualizing Meduski Martinwood, where they've got like back-to-back keyboards, and they each have 3 or 4 stacked.
Yeah, there are a lot of bands like Genesis or
Right.
Keith Emerson. You've seen like. But they don't play solo either. Like they have bands with them. So when you're doing it solo, you need to be able to play many sounds at once sometimes.
Is there any keyboardist that you watch and go, okay, I'm wanting to model myself after that, or a combination?
Not anymore, maybe like when I was younger, for sure, I'd try to emulate different pianists or keyboardists. A lot of jazz pianists that I really admired, like Oscar Peterson, Keith Jarrett, Bud Powell, all those and keyboardists as well, Keith Emerson and Genesis, Tony Banks,
Yeah, I can hear a little bit of that Genesis 80 sound in there.
Yeah, so definitely, but right now I'm not trying to emulate anyone. I'm just kind of doing my own thing and trying to draw inspiration from as many things as possible. Just like seeing Jacob's show, for instance, it really gave me a lot of ideas. He's surrounded by instruments because he plays everything, keys, guitar, bass, drums, percussion, and he sings beautifully. So he's just running around from one instrument to the other and kind of looping, doing stuff, and that was really inspiring.
When you watch musicians on stage, as a musician, what sort of things are you picking out? Like when you mentioned Jacob, what is it you're wanting to steal?
I don't think I want to steal anything, but definitely was inspired by what he did. Well, his style is very different from mine, but first of all, I loved his energy on stage, and he's got like one of these like headset microphones, so he can just run anywhere and like dance, and that would be cool to be able to, like, right now I'm tethered to the keyboard all the time.
That'd be a lot going over your ear.
Sorry?
That'd be a lot going over your ear between the monitors and the headset.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know if I'll do that, but when I have a band, I hopefully will be able to move away from the keyboard a bit. Maybe even get like a little guitar or something, and run around. Because that would be great. Like, I miss that sometimes, I feel like all this energy in me, but I can't really move because I have to keep my hands on the keyboard all the time.
Get a little Jerry Lee action going on. Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, does he dance a lot? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's from like 50s. He would like kick out the bench from the piano and dance and play.
I mean, I'm familiar with his playing, but yeah, I haven't seen video.
There you go.
But yeah, that's one of the things, and just his skill level is inspiring. So, it makes you want to practice.
Before we run out of time, make sure we plug all the things. Where can people find your music?
So my website is glassysmusic.com, and Glasys is spelled Glassys. So that's my website, and you'll have links there to everything else. But you can find my EP on Bandcamp, iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, all of those. And I've got a YouTube channel. You just search Glasses, you'll find my videos, and my Facebook page.
For upcoming shows, which place is best to go to?
My website. I have their list of all upcoming shows. Yeah, glassysmusic.com.
Great. And to purchase the music, which is the best?
Bandcamp. I'm sure you hear that a lot, but yeah, I think musicians get the most, money out of that.
Right.
And it goes directly to us, so we don't have to wait like months until we see anything.
Yeah.
Like as soon as someone buys something, the money goes directly to us, so that's great.
If you could get booked on your dream bill, who would be on that bill?
Oh, wow. Radiohead? Yeah,
Nice.
I guess.
So if you were to open for Radiohead, that'd be your dream.
I want them to open for me. That would be my
There's the
kidding.
dream.
I would like to collaborate with them, be on stage with them and play. And
That
have
would
them
be
play
cool.
some of my songs. That would be like a dream. I'm getting really ambitious right now.
Every musician has those dreams, though.
Yeah. But yeah, I was kind of bummed that I missed their show. They just played here. Were you there?
No, I was very jealous of 10 friends of mine on Facebook
Yeah.
posting videos.
Exactly.
Constantly.
And everyone was like, it was so amazing. Like,
It's like, and I hate you now.
next time.
Yeah, it sold out in like less than 10 minutes. It was
Yeah.
insane.
And then apparently they had more tickets at the box office on the day of the show, but I already had plans and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I found out about the tickets being at the show after the show started.
Oh yeah, what are you gonna do? That
Just be
night
mad.
after they performed and people were raving about how good it was, I just went on YouTube and watched a whole show from like a week before that someone kind of filmed, just to kind of scratch that.
Just to live vicariously a little.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I really want to see them. They're one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, that's one of the things for me going to a live show. It's different to get that energy versus watching the video.
Yeah,
it's just
not
never the same.
thing. Not the same.
No. Okay, so before you go, can I have you do a quick station drop?
For sure.
Glasses, you're listening to Live Friday on KPSU.
Hey, this is Glasses, and you're listening to Live Friday on KPSU.
Thank you. Anything else you wanted to mention?
No, just thank you so much for having me again. It was a real pleasure, and thank you to the whole crew of PSU TV and everyone here. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, everyone.
The Fathers, Mothers, and Families Show is a talk show on families, parenting, children, and relationships. Also some public affairs and politics, beyond just the usual soundbites. Both sides, all sides. Find out what people are actually coming from and why, and have some fun doing it. Call-ins are welcome, all views respected. Fathers, Mothers, and Families, Thursdays, 6 to 7 p.m.
This hour of music on KPSU is sponsored in part by Lagunitas Brewing Company. You can find out all about their unique brews and other brewery happenings online at lagunitas.com. That's LAGUNITAS.com.